All right, my first mind was on business with this. Maybe I'm changing it to the power of perspective, but let me just go on, float on with this. So I guess, wow, I'm really torn between where to start. I don't know if I want to start with business or power of perspective because I'm working on business right now. So let's start off with business principles. So I'm not taking away from anyone who has a successful business in any term, whether it be network marketing or whatever business that you've done, and you've began to be a extremely influential or an entrepreneur that makes a lot of money or successful entrepreneur. But one thing that's different between me and other people, and me and my best friend talked about it, I'm gonna expose the true reality to everything. I don't know if some people are afraid that people will take their ideas or what, but I know a lot about the laws of attractions and abundance, and also it's even in the Bible, what you give out is what you receive back. So I love teaching and I love sharing information. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you stuff that people are not telling you straight up, and I'm not afraid about someone taking my gifts and blah blah, because God gave me unique gifts and I want everyone to win. I understand that the system is collapsing and stuff like that. You need balance. You need to be balanced with your full-time job if you do have one, but also be cautious and just be intelligent on how to build a business or side business or create income without the need per se of someone being there just handing it to you, because in my life it's not always been easy to get a job or stuff like that. So I've been thrown into places where I have no choice but to create income from my mind alone. I have no. I sometimes I just had no other option, so I had to just get it, and that's it. And that's why I speak a lot about balance. Everybody wants to be like comfortable or good or positive. This is why you can't be too positive sometimes, because when you're too positive, you're chill and comfortable, you don't do anything. So sometimes being uncomfortable or being stressed out, or sparks something in you that creates an inspired action. And like I said, I was speaking about the law of attraction. Another thing, we're talking about law of attraction. This is how the law of attraction works. And then even I, obviously, when it wasn't working for me, I did get confused too. Like, I may not say it, but I'm kind of sitting around like a genie waiting for something to fall. Like I said, certain things I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but not really fully committed to what I'm doing in my business and going there. Let me tell you something about full commitment and the law of attraction. Say, prime example, I don't have no money at all. Let's say that, right? But I say I'm going on vacation to Aspen or something like that. Let me show you how the law of attraction works. It doesn't matter the fact that you don't have the law of attraction and faith. How about that? Let's put it both to where, because they're the same thing. So like I'm talking about true faith, wisdom, faith. So the law of attraction works. It doesn't really look at the circumstances that you don't have any money or income. This is what the law of attraction, what you'll do in actionable steps per se of the law of attraction for it to work for you. You go look at sites for Aspen. You start planning to travel. You can start buying things, you start picking up along the way, and then the universe, when you're committed to something about the universe creator, whatever you want to call it, and it's intelligent design, it sends you everything you need every step of the way. Is amazing. It happened to me just now. I was looking, I've like I said, I was rebuilding my businesses, and I was looking for the pitch decks from some of the great companies like Mozilla, YouTube, Airbnb, one of my favorite companies, and I didn't find them automatically. I kind of like some searching around, had to look around and do something, but I found other things that really helped, like elevate my business to like the next degree that I was like doing. And then I finally, it came to me, like I said, not stressed, but I'm just looking, float around, because I'm going to talk about a stuff thing too. Again, not taking away from a business person's hard work, but when you're stressed, shit is not going to come to you. Period. I know that. And not saying you could always get over being stressed or over being sad or blah 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 the feeling. I'll talk about how to work through like sadness and stuff like that, or how not to work through it. I'm gonna get a little bit deeper in that. Maybe on this lecture, maybe on something else. But we'll see how it goes. You know how I go. But things boom 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 just came to me. And like I said, I am a free person. I want us all to win. So the name of the site from pitch decks from really billionaire companies where their pitch decks, what they were doing when they were in their A series, um, when they were trying to get A series funding, attached.io slash startup pitch deck. So you could check that. And then I might just even just put it on Facebook article. So if you're building a business, you're thinking about getting a Series A funding from an investor, there's definitely things that you need to do, things that I didn't do in the beginning, but that I'm working on, I'm creating. You need to have a business model, business strategies, a pitch deck, and a pitch deck really has a lot of those things kind of at a very high level, broad level. So you have your business model. With any business, there has to be a problem, and then how you're going to fix the problem that there is, and then competition and competitors. Those are kind of things that you need. Those are the basics of starting any type of business when you're doing it completely from scratch, which no matter whether it fails or not, that's an incredible experience and incredible wisdom that you can kind of gain from that. So attached.io startup pitch deck, so you can look at the largest companies and see how they got their Series A funding and what they presented to a lot of investors like Greylock Partners. Who else did Airbnb use? Airbnb is definitely one of my favorite startup. Sequoia Capital funded them in 2009, $600,000. So any of those, but even when you're getting funded, the money just doesn't flip and switch like that. So that's talking about funding and ways to do that, and the law of attraction, and how to just start doing stuff, and everything you'll need will come to you. It really will. It really is. Now, when it comes to that, that's really like magic, but you have to be solid and you have to be founded. This is what I'm doing, period. Everything there are things that'll break. Sometimes you'll go through a problem where you have no choice, like, oh, I have to do this. So therefore, like I said, so your problems, you have to look at it objectively. Okay, now I'm just going with it. That's what I'm talking about, having a positive mind state. If your mind state is, oh, fuck this, woo, 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 you'll never see all the good that's coming to you in between. Like, I'll give a prime example. Say you got in a car accident. It's terrible. Like, oh, your car fucking sucks. Woo, woo. But in the same thing, saying the law of attraction, you were asking for your partner for life. You never know in that exposure. You could possibly meet the girl of your dreams during that car accident. She could have been the one that slammed into you. She could have been a person walking by. There's a synchronicity of events that occurred. I think one time I ran out of gas. It was amazing to me how many people stopped and said, "Hey, are you okay?" Blah blah blah, and started provoked a little conversation. But if I was just pissed off, I would have never had the frequencies that would have been open to that interaction. So I'm saying, so that person could be so pissed off or so in that one linear frame of thought. And that's where they're missing the other gifts. So sometimes things happen that, in reality, a lot of things, do happen that we cause. Like, again, I'm very into the law of attraction. I think anything that happens, whether your thought, like I said, you may think per se good or bad, but in reality, it's really not no good and bad. There's just experience. Like, for example, that car accident happened for a reason for him to meet the love of his life. So really, per se, you can't really say was it good or bad, that experience. It was just an experience that you caused. Attraction, like I said, when your mind is so looking at it from one frame of mind, you get kind of hurt by it. So you have to kind of release your one lock and be open and just realize that you were just one perspective and source. Like I said, if you think about, like I said, I believe in a higher being because it's just intelligent design. You know what I'm saying? It's beyond faith. I know. I'll give a prime example about the DNA. I am just so in awe by the creator or God or the Most High, like I said, because again, there's several. The creator's intelligent design, and here, let me tell you about an intelligent design, and this is where I'll kind of go into business. Your DNA is so intelligent designed, so that's why that chaos theory and spontaneous, that shit is bullshit. Okay, that is fucking bullshit, because this is intelligently designed to mathematics. Every part, if I cut myself in half, this is the same ratio of my hand here to the same ratio of this hand here. I can take a hair follicle of myself and it will replicate itself and create an entire new being. That's intelligent design. And let's talk about the golden mean ratio, and that is evident in nature, from your sunflower to the seahorse to everything. Chaos then create that, because of chaos. I have an arm black here, it's fucked up, and this side, but everything has been intelligently designed to the mathematical precision that is just impeccable. So that was designed by an intelligent being or intelligent creator. That that's what I'm thinking about. Everything is spiritual and everything is, even in my business, and even like I'll go from business to programming from the different levels that I've been in. When you think about DNA is so intelligent design. It's already thinking about, if you want to talk about, if you're from the school of software programming, intelligent software programming is not saying, oh, I'm not a human, I'm not a mixed state humans there. It is designed effectively to handle and correct errors if you're doing software design or intelligent design patterns. And the same thing, even the universe creator has design pattern. Your DNA replicates itself, and it has certain agents that will correct issues in itself. That's why you can heal yourself. That's why if I get a cut, this will heal itself because it was intelligently designed. That way the designer, the creator was that. And so anything that you create, business or whatever, when you really want to think about something that's superb and that's going to go beyond, you have to do that intelligently design it. You just can't throw it up on your wall. Okay, an intelligent designer knows, okay, there's earthquakes, there's storms. That's what I said the same thing about the pyramids. Bullshit. If slaves made it, bullshit. The 2000s, it was built to a point where it could withstand earthquakes, and the mathematical precision was to a fifth of a meter or something. It's insane. And magnetics that they with so-called modern technology can't even design with their engineering to that type of precision. So when you're building your business, this is another thing I wanted to talk about. God gave us a lot of gifts and talents, and our brain is intelligently designed as well. So whatever your main gift is in your business, let's just say I'm an artist and I'm good at speaking, okay, like or customer service or whatever. So like I'm good at artistic, creative, musical, and good at customer service, creative. So let me tell you another thing that big business people or some entrepreneurs, like some, because thank God I had people that cared enough for me to help me even for free, but they don't realize what those free samples are free. There's again another law, universal, the law of equivalent exchange. So if someone does something, I feel like, oh, I owe them back. So if you don't know, you give people free jewels, they're gonna be lined up to give you something back because they feel like you owe someone. Just like one of my mentor entrepreneurs that help me, I just can't wait till I get some money so I can just be like, hey, woo, 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 thank you for so much with the business model, the strategy, my entire business. Thank you for laying that foundation for me instead of just being like, oh, you need to start from scratch, you need to do this, woo, woo, and not telling me anything. I'm not like that. God gives me gifts freely given, and I will give these gifts freely given back. But one thing they're not telling you is automation and focusing on what your strengths are and automating or outsourcing the rest from that, period. There is no way in hell, like all of them do it. I don't know what, any large company, especially in the beginnings, they're automating like a bitch. Okay, even Google does it. Google talks all this shit, and I love Google. Google is one of my favorite companies. But they even have bots that do like search engine and stuff like that. So there's certain things they dismiss those practices, but some of those very practices that they use themselves when it comes to like bots and automation. Actually, there's a friend of mine, well, like again from my entrepreneur, that has something where he has a business that he pays back companies that use per se Google AdWords, and he'll pay them back. He created a bot that finds all those bots that kind of do that does the clicking, that does that fake kind of clicking, and they get checks back from Google for any of their bots, or if it's discovered. Like I said, it has to be discovered. So he has an entire business built upon, okay, Google using bots, when this is supposed to be pay per click. It's supposed to be actual real customers paying and clicking for your advertising instead of just these bots out here. So there's an entire business just built on that. So when I'm talking about automation, I'll give a prime example. Even network marketing. Like if a person is telling you, oh, I just called and blah blah blah, and they're an extremely successful network marketer, they're full of shit. Anybody who is successful at something has developed, either they have, let's say they're 50 Cent or something, and they develop like, okay, they have that marketing clout because of who they are and what they with in their stardom, or they built a fucking successful system. It is not one or the, it's not just woo boom grunt hard work. Again, not taking away from hard work, because I work very 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 hard, but to get from regular to boom is an intelligent system. So a lot of these intelligent systems they use, I'll give a prime example. At Twitter, I grew my Twitter base originally, and then I stopped. That was complete automation. That was like, okay, say I'll get my top several blogs, and then again, I didn't even build the bot. There was like, there was some Twitter something that kind of built that. Oh, not even built. It was just like, okay, it was a system. It wasn't even a bot. So the system I had, okay, RS feeds at the top, per se, art articles, and they would go in there and they would run some, and then I would do my own in between there, and then some autoresponders for new people that would follow me, and the same thing. And the same thing with Instagram. Instagram, I started that way, and I'll put a book to that again as well, how to build your Instagram audience, because again, I'm not afraid to share knowledge. I don't know what's up with other people, but I will give it to you freely. That was started becoming very time consuming. So let me talk about one that's Instagram, because I have other stuff to do, because when I was doing it, clicking, it was a headache. So Instagram is a great program to build that audience for you. Like I said, you still can do it on the manual process, but I don't even like doing it. Why waste my time doing it when I could be wasting, when I could do something that I love, which is being artistic, creating creative designs and stuff like that, and or studying or learning more about videography or photography or something that, or art or music. That's in my passion. I'd rather take time to study that, or just relaxing and having that bot do that. So like I said, any system is automation. Another automation system, they use a lot of leads and capture pages, or same thing even with LinkedIn. Even my mentor who got me, it was a bot. Actually, it wasn't even him. Like when we first met, we had an interaction, but he found me for his bot. There's another bot actually on LinkedIn that'll be like a look for whatever, and this will be great for salespeople. Like I said, this will kind of rip and kill LinkedIn sales navigator. But what they could do, just like everything else, like SlideShareLender.com, they could buy out that company and tell them just to stop, and that could be a great tool for the sales professional, because I was working there and they were trying to really push, okay, why buy premium? That could be great for the sales professional, or any school tools indispensable for the sales professional or the business owner or the recruiter. The recruiter can be like, okay, the recruiting job has gotten a lot easier from LinkedIn, but instead of them, they could give you like, okay, this is the job description here. Here's the keywords that I'm looking for a job description. You can have someone just go, you have the bot just go out there with a pool, and then you only have the people that selected from that pool. So you already have a lot of that tier and that boom, boom, boom kind of knocked down just in one layer, and then the candidates that you have already are only people that are high qualified. And then say, I say I've been in engineering so long, so I'll go for the school of engineering. Your next step could be, okay, a coding challenge. You have all the other stuff that you need. Next is the coding channel. Next, blah blah blah. Okay, meet the team, get hired. So much of a process, especially people that used to sit down and siphon through like 5,000 resumes, blah blah blah, and just time set. So you think about time saving. So people that are successful at business, anything you could do, they're efficient and they automate that. Anything is efficient. You don't want to have to think about it. Just be creative. But anything or any class, and then some of the tasks could even be complicated. But if you see yourself, like I said, this is the basics of algorithms. Like again, I'm going to make everything plain. Everybody want to make stuff difficult. Computer science is easy as well. The basic of algorithms is giving detailed instructions and then having those instructions, then you're writing a computer program or whatever to repeat those tasks. So there's the same thing that you're going here, but it's this design, because the computer again is modeled after brain. There's nothing more intelligent design than your human body. So you say you have, like I said, a lot of our functions are automated. Okay, breathing, blah blah blah. All that simple. You don't have to wake up and think about breathing. You just naturally breathe. Your heart all of it. Even though these are very, like I said, these are very complicated systems. I'm not going to belittle the Universal Creators design. These are extremely complicated, but they're automated and blah 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 and process the same thing. Same thing you could do here. Stuff that you see tasks all the time. Okay, checking email or doing this or you can find. And again, I am a searcher. If you're not a programmer, don't fucking go build it from scratch. There's free tools. Or you could like buy something. If you find it that much valuable, you could buy stuff that'll automate and make your simple day-to-day tasks like easier and automate it, where you don't really have to do it, and find like ways to kind of eliminate those tasks. So One thing is beautiful for me. I learned everything from network marketing, from working at billion-dollar Fortune 500 corporations, from my own business, and I put it in perspective of everything. I don't talk down to anyone that that's done anything, because you'll never see me and like, oh fuck you have a job, you're stupid. It's like, no, you're a dumbass, because when you had a job, you didn't take at the same time those jobs had systems. So you're talking about a person, talking to a person that has a job. Not everyone, this is everybody's problem. Not everyone has to do it the same way. You don't have to just jump into an entrepreneurship market. It's different. Everybody, that's why people fail. Everybody think there's one solution for everything. There's multiple solutions for everything. Period. Just like there's multiple people and there's multiple thoughts and there's multiple ideas. There's not one way to do anything. There's a way that works well for you, depending on your mind and your butt. So like, instead of him talking shit about somebody who's working a full-time job, someone who's working a full-time job and they want to learn about how to work in a big time or work in a full-time job is a great way to learn how to run a business, because you can think about from the lowest levels to the highest levels. The automation in the process is the same thing, like I said, working at McDonald's or working at Burger King. There's a reason like a 5-year-old or a 12-year-old can go in there, because there's automation. There is a process, there is a system, an intrinsic system that's put into place so that anyone can do that. And then you could learn as a business owner, instead of be like, ooh, I don't know what to do. If you opened your entire mind up from every experience you got, it's like, okay, well, McDonald's has a system. The same thing when I'm like, I need to have a system when I open a business. Say I have people working for me, there's a graphic designer, there's like systems, there's a hiring process, and there's a system through that hiring process. And also when they're get hired, there's an onboarding system to make that a little bit easier. And maybe I can even put them with a trainer or a mentor in the human element. Like I said, I've worked in manufacturing for the first time, and I learned a lot with that. The fastest thing I was learning, like say if I had a trainer, even if it's a simple task, a mentor with me guiding me through that some of those tasks that they're like, okay, I don't know how I would have done if they just gave me a manual or whatever, I learned those in 20-30 minutes. So you're looking at things which could cut out ways and efficiency, and then you could do that when creating. So same thing, because say if I only be having people, then I could have the leaders, okay, this is your job, this is a mentor, this person in this facet, and blah blah blah, and have that system repeated and process, and boom 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 boom, you have a system that grows and it extends itself and it breathes on its own without per se the head. And the same thing when an efficient business owner. Okay, there's a difference between, and I'm going to talk about that, the cash flow quadrant. I should tell everyone to advise, read Rich Dad Poor Dad. You think, well, sometimes when you get something and your level of understanding is not there, you never know when. This is the first time I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I was in college, a freshman in college, so that was probably, man, 13, a long time ago. But it's still, the cash flow quadrant comes to me. You want to come to a business owner, an investor. There's this side, there's the employed and the self-employed. And the self-employed, which is actually even worse than the employed, honestly, because of the employed, you can, okay, you get sick, you're going to get a day, but you have, that's kind of built in for, but as the self-employed, there's a good way, because you can make an unlimited amount of money, but all that unlimited amount of money is tied to your time and your energy. But if you're sick, your cash flow stops. So all these things stop. To move to that next level, being a business owner, if you're a true business owner, that means your business can run efficiently without profits or anything losing over a year without your presence. That is when you become a business owner. And that's when you have to have automation, systems, employees that will run it effectively without the need of you there. If you can't do that, you're not a business owner, you're self-employed. And then from the next step of logical thing, from business owner to investor, this is where you're making, it's not just a physical system or physical people, it's making your money work for you when it comes to investments or options trading or real estate trading or, whatever. Say if you have tenants or something, say you want to do like some real estate property, that's really making your money work for you. Or the same thing, what is really dope, I like just writing a book per se, even though I haven't got to it yet. That's a nice thing. Or even, hey, inspirational instructional videos. The thing that is beautiful about these systems, you can create them once and it's continually making money for you. Do you understand the value of an impressive system? Say you do a great video and you put it there and you have to say it's a part of an online course or a part of a book. That that takes you into the level of an investor because you created that collateral one time. That collateral continued makes money for you. Same thing like Harry Potter. So those are business owners and investors, and that's the side that that's the tip of the jar that you kind of want to be on. So yeah, that's what I'm rambling on. I'm not sure if I'm gonna say what they don't want you to know about being a business owner or just talking about the intelligent design of things, but that's where I'm going with that. So, oh, and the law of attraction again, that I'm always kind of going with. So it's between like law of attraction, more research that intelligent design, and truly how to become a successful business owner with the stuff that they're not telling you. It's not just grunt and hard work. That is ridiculous. Everything is intelligent design. The powers that rule have an intelligent design. Why do you think they rule so much? I mean, they have locks on your mind, and like I said, in every facet between religion and the government, blah blah blah. But then it was designed. It was designed that way by an architect that designed it. But the first thing, which I recommend for everyone, is studying. Oh, and another thing too about the law of attraction, things that work. That's where I want to get back. I definitely want to get back to this because going a lot with kind of pain and letting go and not suffering, and you want to be in a positive space for things to come and manifest. But let me go deeper into understanding. Like I said, people give you the ingredients, but they don't really tell you how to work these ingredients. So I want everyone to win, so I'm going to show you how to work these ingredients. Sometimes when you're in pain, you have to sit there and experience that pain. But when you experience that pain, sometimes not sometimes, all the time, you should ask yourself, okay, why do I feel this way? And where's this coming from originally? And don't be in a state of judgmenting yourself or abandoning yourself. And I used to do this a lot with myself. I feel a certain emotion, and I understand society has programmed you to do that. But that's for the powers to be. They want to separate your emotional body from your physical body, not realizing they're all one thing. That pain is stemmed, and it comes and is root for somewhere. And like I said, stop looking at stuff in good or bad and chastising yourself about it. It just wants to be the first thing you do to be is aware. A lot of time you'll get, and then they'll some emotional pain is so strong it'll manifest to physical pain. But your body, your first thing, you're alert. The last spirituality that you have left, since everybody took it away, it's took from in church. That's why a lot of you leave church and you do the same shit because the spirituality is not even there. So your pain is the first manifestation of it, the emotional body being in so much damage that it manifests itself physically into this physical reality or this physical form here. So it's just an alert to get attention. So that's the first thing you could do, and be aware of it. Don't just pop a pill because you got a headache or something like that. Sit there with it, understand with it, kind of think about it, ask your question, and describe to yourself, how does it feel? And that can get to the root cause of your kind of emotional problem in whatever it is. But don't look at it so much. We always think of pain in terms of a negative thing. Pain is not per se negative. A lot of time it's just awareness of what is going on, just being aware. And who knows, sometimes you just might have to sit with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like when you pain, I know you don't want to hurt anyone else. And a lot of times, so you got to we're kind of tricked to think we should always run, but that's really not reality. A lot of times you're in pain, you don't want to talk to them, but sometimes talking to someone is the best thing to do. I know you don't want to bring their problem because they have their own, but sometimes that's the best way to vent your problems. And don't per se think of it, like I said, it's always perspective. Don't think about, they're going to run and tell my business and blah, blah, blah. Even if they do, who cares? Like at the end of the day, it's about, do you feel better? Do you feel free? Do you feel release from that attachment and just let it go? However you may feel, and like I said, if you still feel that uncomfortable, write it out. And then if say this nigga, write it out and burn it. But the fact is that you have to get it out, release, and maybe be aware with it. I'm going to give another example of a parable that was great. That, again, like I said, I watch a lot of spirit science. I watch a lot of everything. And a lot of things when your mind is set to a certain thing, like I said, masters in spirituality. To me, that's a real degree. Certain things will come to you. But spirit science is one of the places I listen to. 13 Sun, so many information sources. But this was awesome. about let going. So this was a give example because I think a lot of people are a little confused and it's okay to be confused, but like when you're seeking understanding, you'll get knowledge. So let me give this about a fox that was caught in a bear trap. So a fox is just running around. She's running alone just like a fox does, but she gets trapped in a bear trap. Her foot talks bear trap. So in one of the definitions of letting go or like releasing, when you're talking about okay, let go, you have this notion just because you let go there's not going to be any pain and suffering with it. That's per se not the case. Say a mother fox got caught in a bear trap, and at that point she knows she has to get back to feed her kids. Now it might not be perfect scenario and it's not going to be, but at that point she makes a decision in her mind, fuck it, I'm gonna let this foot or arm, I can't remember where I started, but I'm gonna let this leg go, and by gnawing off my own foot and leg so I can get back to the baby and go back to feed my children. So she goes and does what she does. She goes back and feeds her children, and it's just experience, and she never leaves it that, but her mind was still focused on, I gotta get back home and feed my children. That was what my first mind was gonna do, and then the love for her children is what made her decision to bring her back. But does she go back there and then she protests about the people that are doing the bear trap? Ooh, a protest, blah blah. Or is she mad at her children for the rest of her life because she had to make a choice to eat off her own leg? I mean, not eat off, but bite off her own leg and leave it in the bear trap? No, it's experience for what it is. She learned that experience and she moves forward. And that's what I have to say about you. So letting go doesn't per se mean, whoo, you're going to be free of pain and attachment stuff, but it just means that this is where I am. I'm going to move forward with this. Just like one of the person I put on YouTube, put on one of my Facebook that's so inspired. He has no arms, no leg. He owns 2 successful businesses. Extremely successful business. He's been on TED Talk. He swims. This guy just has a gorgeous wife with no arms, no legs. That's mental strength. Okay, that's mental strength. So whenever I feel like, ooh, I'm like, hell nah, this dude has no arms, no legs. He's an inspiration for me. So like I said, and then but it's not every day. Maybe at one point, maybe at one point he did have a turning point where he was thinking like, but maybe that turning point, that's what it needed to catapult him. Because who's to say? Maybe if he had no arms, no legs, and he did have some or something, he might have not been as successful. Who is to say that, Trim? But I know with his condition and where he is physically, these limitations, he has no mental ones at all. And that's why he's superb. So everything is a mental thing, mentalist. So yeah, ramble on and all the good stuff that I usually do, but I am free form. I am free flow, number 17 as well. Namaste. Which means my soul recognizes your soul, and we all share that oneness of each other in the universal creator energy. Don't let them tell you any different. I love you like you love me. Bless.